Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Kent Lutzen. A small earthquake shook the area between Kalispell and Big Fork earlier today. The quake was measured by the U.S. Geological Survey as a magnitude 3.0. There have not been any reports of injuries or major damage. It happened at about 11:52 this afternoon at a depth of about 3.2 miles, according to the USGS. The quake was centered about 6.2 miles southeast of Kalispell and about 3.1 miles north of Summers. More than 24 people in the Big Fork area reported feeling the quake, as did people in Kalispell. If you felt anything, the U.S. Geological Survey asks that you fill out a USGA form online. Alrighty, and switching gears to weather, it really was a warmer mid-January day with some blue skies, but with the latest, let's go to meteorologist Russ Thomas with his first forecast. Russ?
Many areas saw sunshine from early all the way through. Missoula, it took a little while, and then areas north even longer. I think everyone at some point finally got that sunshine, or I should say they did. You look off to our east, we do see on the radar some snow moving through Billings right now. That's part of a cold front, a backdoor cold front, which means it's moving from east to west. Not going to make its way into western Montana, I should say. We're not going to see any snowfall. However, we will see some easterly winds tomorrow, kind of the remnants of that front. So we got 28 Missoula right now, 28 Hamilton, 33 in Sealy. Again, those numbers will be maybe slightly cooler tomorrow for high temperatures and a little bit breezy. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Russ, Friday marked the end of the presidential transition at UM. Interim President Sheila Stearns delivered her final administrative recommendations to current President Seth Bodnar. In an email addressed to students, faculty, and community members, Bodnar thanked his predecessor. He says, quote, "I received President Sheila Stearns' final recommendations on academic programs and administrative services prioritization. Sheila has my sincere gratitude for this report and for her lifetime of service in advancing the cause of higher education in the state of Montana." Bodnar plans to build on the prioritization process by working with cabinet, deans, and shared governance groups on campus, adding he will provide a framework for decision-making as we begin spring semester, which starts January 22nd. And in national news, a new CBS poll found that 76% of Americans surveyed said President Trump's reported profane comments during immigration negotiations last week were inappropriate. But this morning, a Republican in that meeting denies they were ever spoken. As CBS News' Laura Podesta explains, the tension over immigration issues could impact efforts to reach a budget deal before a major deadline.
Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton attended the immigration meeting where the president is accused of calling several African nations, El Salvador and Haiti, expletive whole countries. On Face the Nation Sunday, Cotton denied ever hearing that language.
I didn't hear it, and I was sitting no further away from Donald Trump than Dick Durbin was.
But Senator Durbin, a Democrat, has said he clearly heard those words spoken by the president.
They were vile, hate-filled, and clearly racial in their content.
Representative Mia Love, a Republican, is the first Haitian American to be elected to Congress.
I still think that he should apologize. I think that there are people that are looking for an apology, and I think that that would show real leadership.
President Trump has denied making the remarks. On Twitter Sunday, he wrote, "I as president want people coming into our country who are going to help us become strong and great again." Democrats are demanding an immigration deal that protects undocumented immigrants who entered the country as minors. But the president tweeted, "DACA is probably dead because the Democrats don't really want it." DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, has been linked to spending negotiations. With Friday's deadline to prevent a government shutdown approaching, several Democrats, including John Lewis from Georgia, have said they won't vote for a budget deal until there is an agreement on DACA. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
And back in the Treasure State, there are 98 residents of Opportunity, Montana, all involved in a lawsuit with Atlantic Richfield Company. These 98 residents all have one common goal. They want their properties cleaned up from the contaminants left by the smelting plant in Anaconda. MTN's Kenneth Webb shares their journey to justice.
We didn't put it there, and we shouldn't be responsible for removing it. The company put it there, and they should be the ones that have to take it out.
The residents of Opportunity that are in this lawsuit are frustrated because their lands are contaminated with more than 250 parts per million of arsenic, which is well above the normal safe levels.
Yeah, it's just obvious, you know, if the levels are high, they're above what historic levels would be had that smelter not existed, then yeah, you know, it's their issue that it's polluted. They should need to clean it up. You know, it's been frustrating from the fact that, you know, they've admitted themselves that it needs to be cleaned up, and yet they'll clean up all around me. They've got all the equipment right on location and still avoid doing my property.
I'm very upset and frustrated. I'm even afraid to mow the grass because there's dust, you know, and I don't know if I'm breathing that stuff in because showing it's contaminated. I don't like the kids to play out there in the yard. I'm afraid of them. I mean, we've had dogs get cancer from it. We think it's from it. They get it from something.
If I'm littering, if I'm playing my music too loud and it's disruptive to my neighbors, I need to stop. I need to remedy it. I need to make sure it doesn't happen again. If my dog's biting somebody, it's on me. Well, their smelter's a big dog that's bitten an awful lot of people, and it needs to be taken care of.
The residents of Opportunity are only wanting their land restored to its original state before the smelting plant was even built. The residents and their attorneys are happy to finally get their day in court to go after ARCO.
For decades now, they've been the victims of corporate greed and corporate pollution dumping on their properties. And we are trying to make ARCO accountable and responsible for what they did. These folks that we represent have no political power, really, or economic power to do anything. They're simply there to ask ARCO to do what's right and to return their land into the state it was before this all happened.
So if not for the courts, I don't know how we as landowners would be able to address the contamination issues that ARCO has placed onto our properties. I'm glad we're finally going to get our day in court. I hope to see it happen. And it's time that we air this out.
Unfortunately, ARCO and their attorneys declined to comment, and we will continue to update this story when we learn more information. Reporting from Opportunity, Kenneth Webb, MTN News.
And in Missoula County, kiddos and parents enjoyed winter activities at the 4th annual winter break at the Ranch Club. Dozens of people gathered at the Ranch Club for pond hockey, curling, fat biking, ice skating, cross-country skiing, and sledding. At the event, there were s'mores, a bouncy house, and a visit from some amazing animals. All of the money made from the event is going to benefit the Special Olympics Missoula Otter Team and Missoula Food Bank Empower Pack program.
Well, the best part about this event is, one, the turnout is great. Cool. And the reason that's so great is because it's showing how willing all these people are to support the community and to support the food bank, support Special Olympics. So seeing a turnout like that when you're doing something that's a fundraiser is probably the best part.
Alrighty, coming up after the break, meteorologist Russ Thomas will be back with a look at our work week forecast. Plus, Under the Big Sky shows us how one Montana father-son duo has created a one-of-a-kind luggage company.